President John Dramani Mahama has appointed Patrick Vanderpool as new board chairman of the City STC Coaches Limited. The other board members are Yao Obimpe, Anita Esi Anan, Professor Kendi, Abraham Bilwa, and Kenneth Gilbert Ajay, acting managing director of the company. And this comes a few weeks after workers of the company protested in demand of the dismissal of the company's managing director and some members of the management team. My colleague Kwekuteming is standing by to give us an update.
Some changes from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, where the board has been dissolved and now changed. So we're back at the STC trying to find out exactly how the changes is going to affect operations, and then again some of the measures that are being put in place to ensure that STC goes back to its past glory. So I'll be speaking to some executives, and then later on I'll move back to labor and also touch on some of the calls that they put out there and see how best those calls are being addressed. So very first I'm speaking to Victor Anane Frimpong. He's the acting head of operations. They have resumed duties. You remember there were some few agitations from the onset. They have resumed duties, and we want to find out how operations is like. Sir, a very good afternoon. Thanks for joining us live on TV3 on Midday Live.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Well, let me find out from you. You are acting head of operations now. We want to know. I mean, some few weeks ago, the story was unpleasant. Labour called for reforms and changes. How is the situation like? How is the STC today like?
Well, I think that today, it's almost about the same. For me, for about 10 years, STC has been run in a way that it should not change. The reason is we cannot continue to run as if we have money, as if we have a fleet of cars long before some many years ago. What I'm trying to imply is STC must be able to run only profitable routes. We cannot continue to run profitable and non-profitable routes. As long as we continue to run routes which do not generate revenue for about 5 years, for about 6 years, it means that for about 10 years you run waste all these vehicles.
All right, tell me exactly where are you now? STC is cutting operations to some particular areas and now embarking on journeys to other areas. Is this what you're saying?
Yes, exactly so. For now, what we want to do is that we will use the small fleet that we have to run only profitable routes.
Tell me about those profitable routes that you think will be good for the operations of the STC. Which areas are you going to now?
For me, if we have the right fleet, we must run Accra, Kumasi, Accra, Accra, Tamale, Accra. Then we also have to run Accra, Takoradi, Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi. Then we also need to run Aplau, and then we would also move on to Abidjan, Cotonou.
You can tell me about now some of the unprofitable routes that you think has cost you so much money and you think it's not a journey to go on.
I don't think it would be right for me to go on air just to say all these things, but we need to do our homework here and we need to act as a team.
All right, there's been a lot of change with management and the like. Let's just quickly find out from you. The changes, is this okay? How is it like?
Well, I think for me, what STC needs, even though it is good to have brought these new men, I think the bottom line is we need recapitalization. And when we have the right kind of fleet, we must be firm to run profitable routes. Apart from that, I also think that our workshops should also be made to generate money.
All right, so workshops should be able to generate money. I've been speaking to Victor Anane Frimpong, he's the acting head of operations. Thank you very much, Victor. You can hold on a little bit. We're coming back to the action team. They called for reforms as labor. In fact, they toppled the original labor union, and they are saying that this time around we're coming back to inaugurate a new labor union. First of all, my question to you is, are you satisfied with the reforms that you called for? What has been done and what has not been done? I'm speaking to Hope Kofi Klu. Hope Kofi Klu is going to be the acting union person or the spokesperson, and then also he's an accountant here. Hope, the few things you called for when we spoke to you some few weeks back, have they been addressed?
We, first of all, Intercity STC and its aggrieved workers are very grateful to Mr. President John Dramani Mahama for giving another chance to another new board to take over the administration of the company. We hope that as a new team is in place now, our grievances will be channeled to them, and by so doing we will be pleased with what the outcome is going to be.
Hope you called for management to be removed. You called for some measures. Have you seen any changes, and what are those changes, and are you okay with it?
We are quite okay with what happened so far because the whole board have been changed and there are few key members brought from SNIT to take over certain key positions, and we believe the right thing is on course. By so doing, our grievances which we spoke about should be channeled to the new board so that they will take actions on them, especially on the Provident Fund which we talk about, and likewise the bad nature of our salary scale too as well.
Okay, so when they talk about salaries, of course, some people are earning as low as 200 Ghana cedis, 300 Ghana cedis, and for you, you think this is not good enough. I mean, tell me about the salary base. I mean, somebody working for how many years and earning how much?
There is a situation, you have a driver who has driven STC bus for 20 to 30 years, goes home with a gross salary of 300 Ghana cedis, which I lay emphasis on some few weeks ago. The nature of it is so bad that we are calling that should the government come into our rescue to revamp the place by capitalization or looking for a private strategic investor, we believe when coaches which we need to work, when they are in place, I mean, they're going to do something better about the salary so that we can move forward.
Obviously, they are calling that if there could be a strategic investor, they think this is going to transform the ISTC. But there's another question that I must tell you. TV3 investigations coming here have realized that the union you are calling for is not legitimate. Of course, there's a union that has been elected. Now, you're saying Monday you and your team are going to be outdoors. Is this legitimate? Clue.
The day of fire is a holy fire. It was a fire that sent the old members astray. We have approved them. They are no more in existence because we've realized that for so many years they are in bed with management.
No, but what you're doing, is it not illegal?
It is not. It's a due process we are following to do the right thing. The national union, that is the TUC, is in line with what we're going to do.
All right, so these are some of the things that we came across, but TV3 will definitely investigate further and bring you further details. Who exactly qualifies to be in the union? Maybe just before you go, Monday, you say you are inaugurating this new body. What is the body going to be doing?
The body is going to do a national election to pick national officers in place so that the new members that are going to take positions are going to gear up and do the right thing, what is expected the union to do for the workers to move forward.
All right, just before I go, Mr. Anane, also your final words. How would you want to see STC in the next 2 or 3 years if all goes well?
For me, I think that state transport is a viable job. And my hope is that the government, as a matter of urgency, should look for a private, good foreign investor or local that will be able to steer affairs, all these issues. Because as soon as you bring in somebody who has injected his money, there are a lot of things that will actually be cleared up.
All right, so it's a call that from all of them that at this point, ISTC, all it needs is a good investor who is willing to transform the industry in Ghana, and all their woes would be gone. Well, for TV3 News, Kwekutimin, right here at the headquarters of the ISTC here in Accra. We'll give it back to you in the studio.